Everybody, good afternoon. We have Julian Sanchez, who I'm not sure who that is, that just joined as well.
Yeah, Julian is works for Mike.
Okay, got it.
Mike's out of town, so he's gonna stand by.
Okay, and we've got
I don't understand that, Steve. What'd you just say?
Black
So
and Beach
Julian
representative.
works for Mike Huda, Black and Beach. Huda's out, Julian will step in
For what?
Okay.
as our program manager.
All right,
Managing what program?
I guess Ed, I guess let's get started. I understand your concerns. I already well aware. Okay, keeping moving here. We got Roman. Can you hear? Can who else is on there? Roland is on
Yeah,
there. Okay.
I can hear you. I'm fine.
Yeah, great, Roland. Just want to make sure you could hear. All right,
Yeah.
let's get started, guys. Jocelyn, I guess we're bringing this to order at 4:03 or 4:04.
403, that's fine.
Okay, 4:03. All right, let's rock and roll, guys. How do we want to get started?
Well, he submitted a rate sheet and he
Yeah.
submitted the tasks they're going to do and the estimated total cost.
Right.
So before we negotiate a rate, I really think we have to know since you and I, Fernando probably has some idea much better than we do of what the market rate is for various jobs. These people charge project engineers, all the various job classifications. How much are we paying to the other people in this industry? How do we to know whether his prices are comparable or are they fair or are we being ripped off? So I think it's essential to know that. And Darren should have that stuff from the various people that submit bids to us on a regular basis.
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. We should have a rate sheet or an accepted rate sheet by staff for civil services.
So once we have that, we can compare it. Before we can want to negotiate or tell them it's high or low, we have to be able to compare it. So I think the first thing, and I sent Darren a email just before asking us to prepare that so we can, compare that to the what he's sending us.
Yeah, we'll take care of that, Ed. We've got a number of professional services contracts. We've got work that other people do. We can definitely do comparables.
So if you guys would send that to us, we can do the comparables and
Yeah, we
decide
will.
whether we want to negotiate or accept his rates, correct?
Right.
Yeah, do you want me to, I know everyone's seen it, but Mike, do you want me to pull it up just to take a look at it?
Yeah, why don't we pull it up? Right.
Yeah, can you all see that right there?
Yep.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
I mean, these rates look pretty low relative to what I would thought they would have been. But I don't know, Fernando, what do you think?
I think they look standard. I
Okay.
mean, at first glance, they don't look extraordinary in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Mostly all what I call project management rates, project and principal rates. Let me just take a quick peek again. I mean, this really needs to be looked at by staff more than anything else.
Yeah. I was just trying to get your street knowledge on this.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Would
they
put
don't
no,
look-
was no
they don't
intention
look
to put you,
out.
no intention of putting you on the spot, just trying to get some local street knowledge.
no, that's fine. That's fine. That's perfectly fine.
All right, anyway, once we get the thing from Darren showing us
compare 'em.
the other stuff, then we can compare it and say either let's accept it, negotiate it, or whatever. That's
Yeah.
all. Until we get that, there's
They
nothing.
look pretty,
I think
they
we
look
can-
very reasonable, but I think it's
I don't
good.
think there's anything we can do today.
Yeah, they appear to be reasonable, I think, too. Mike, what I'll do, if you're good with it, I'll pick some of our engineer-specific professional services contracts we have. Understanding they were negotiated about 4 years ago, so that's one thing we got to take in consideration.
Yeah.
Obviously, AECom's rates, and then any other engineer who's done this type of work for us, in the last 2 or 3 years.
Sounds good.
I'll get you
All right.
about 3 or 4 comparables.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
that's
just
fine. I
can-
think that's plenty.
Okay.
All right. Next on
The
the
other
list
thing is, what kind of work are they going to do? And they submitted a whole breakdown of all the work they're going to do and
Yeah.
what they're going to charge, and how long it's going to take, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Yeah, we have-
Do you have that, Ed?
What?
Do you have that?
Yeah. He was
How'd
supposed
you
to
get
send, according to Darren, he's supposed to send copies to everybody.
Okay.
he just sent it, Ed, about 15, 20 minutes ago. So Steve can share that now, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want me to pull that up, because
Please.
yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be here, so Giorgio must have known we were gonna meet today, which is also pretty awesome.
But Darren informed him because
Okay, so maybe that's why he got him today to us. Let me,
Let me
pull this
make
up.
a suggestion also too, as we're looking at these sheets. I think we should be looking at a blended cap. Meaning, I appreciate the fact that we have a principal engineer and that we have a manager, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure that that there's, what I mean by a blended cap for routine tasks.
yeah,
Where seniority is not required, where you've got a regular, because what I don't want to be doing is paying for a principal engineer on what a regular engineer's work would be. Does that make sense?
that
A
makes
lot
total
of sense. He comes
Yeah.
back to
Total
a
sense.
t-
Fernando,
total.
you look like a movie star in that picture, just
Doesn't
by the
he?
way.
Thank you.
He's like the most
Is that
most beautiful
good?
man in the world
I
there.
tell you,
Yeah,
you
well, that was-
you should just stop your current job and go go become
gotta be- that's
a
Fernando?
reality is different, but it's okay. I'll thank you for the.
Look,
That's
I think I just pulled it back up for you, Fernando, and I'm thinking, yeah, they don't have any admin workers on here, and they don't have any, sometimes that's usually an assistant project manager.
Right.
You want us to ask for assistant project manager?
No, I think that we can negotiate, what I'd see on this is a typical distribution of rates that we
Yep.
would accept that they have to keep for their own accounting purposes. It's just that it's like I was here as a parabolic curve, right? You got most of the effort is done by the regular engineering work and seniorities on the fringes supporting or
Yeah,
not.
It looks like the regular engineers at $1.35, which is basically what you're talking
Which
about.
is, which is right about what I'm talking.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that rate. I mean,
Alright.
but then again, that's the village's needs to make a decision on that.
Okay.
He lists the total price of
And
$240,000.
I'll pull that up.
Steve will pull back that up. He's
I'll
got
pull
it,
that
so we can
back up
talk off
so
the same
everybody can
screen.
see what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Takes a while for me to jigger my,
What I'm trying to say is it looks like the average price is about $150 an hour. Because
Right.
he's talking about 1,606 professional hours for a cost of 240,000. So
Yeah.
with real quick in my head calculations, the average cost is about 150 an hour.
Yeah.
that's what you're talking about down there.
Yeah. Oh, you got it right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to make sure everybody sees what you're talking about, Ed.
Okay.
Yeah. So you took total hours divided by the price. And
Yeah, exactly. So it's 150, average 150.
that seems
Which is
relatively-
very project manager heavy.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to ask about. There's a lot of project management hours. What are we managing? We're evaluating.
I think that's him. I think
Probably
project
is.
manager is him.
Yeah.
Probably it is.
I think, I'm not sure, but I would imagine that's him.
Well, he
He's
Yeah.
at 185 and
Right.
he's got the engineer in at 110 hours, 180 hours in the pumping network. So that, Fernando, this is more than evaluation, right? There's a whole design in here as well.
yeah, we just weren't, yeah, when we wrote the agenda, we didn't think this was coming, so
Yeah.
this helps.
Yeah. So
This
this
is really task number 2, which is drafting a work order. If we want to accept this as the, response to our work order, then we can evaluate and go back and forth and make sure we got it.
I think that's kind of the goal here, but let's take a look at what he's got to say and let's go through it because I haven't.
I do have a question. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
One more
Go ahead,
question.
Fernando.
What is the key personnel apart from Georgia? Who is the engineer that's going to be reviewing the model?
He was at the interview. Ed, do you remember what that gentleman's name
Yeah, it was
was?
somebody called Shen, some company, I think
Chen Moore.
Chen
that's
Moore.
it. The guy's name was,
Okay,
He was-
Patrick,
I can't
Yes.
remember the guy's name,
guy.
but the two guys were there.
Yeah. Well, I
Maybe-
guess rather than saying who would it be, because that's really not what I meant as a question, is what is the years of experience of the individual? That's what I mean.
It was Chen Moore was the joint venture guy.
And they had the actual guy himself there.
Yeah, he was the lead person was on the call.
Fitzpatrick, great guy.
Okay, well, I mean, I think that's a question we gotta ask them, you know, name names. I mean, it doesn't have to be name, but it could be name and their expertise and experience that goes.
Yeah, more expertise. Let's focus on that.
That's fine. That's a comment. So who's taking notes?
Our clerk.
I hope.
Oh,
Clerk.
we're recording this, so it's going to generate AI notes, right? Steve, will
What's
it will the recording generate AI notes or not?
We're not there yet. We're teaching the clerk how to do that, but yes, we're getting there.
Okay.
Oh,
All
no,
right.
no, we're on Zoom. So yeah, it should be, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
'cause we're not in the Granicus, we're using Zoom. So yeah, we should be able to pull it right off of Zoom.
okay, great. All right. So we want to make sure we're capturing the notes. Okay. So Jocelyn, if you wouldn't mind, we want to make sure that we confirm that we have the engineers that are going to work on the project's names, if possible.
I would say all these guys,
Yeah.
and their expertise and experience.
Yeah, we basically want a resume list of the people on the project. That's fine.
And we do, I'm sure it's already in the.
It's probably in the
RFQ, So
packet.
we could probably match them.
Yeah.
Hey,
All
I
right.
just want everyone to know it's me, Nancy. I'm joining you by Zoom, just
Hey,
so you
Nancy.
know I'm here. Hi. Bye. I'm going to be on mute, but I'm here.
That's fine. Glad to have you. Okay, carrying on. Let's just go through the email because this looks like it's what we actually wanted.
You want to go back to the top, Mike?
Let's go to the top, please. Yep.
All right, so here's his intro.
Yep. So he's got an overall cost of 240, 16 hours, 4 months. We might be able to push him to get a little faster, but 4 months seems reasonable.
Okay, I have not read this, but where is this at? What do you?
We're right in the middle of the body of the letter, Fernando, the introductory letter.
Yeah,
So the
I don't
total
see it.
budget-
I don't see it. Okay, here it is. Yeah, I'm working from my phone. Bear with
Yeah,
me.
your phone's going to be tough with this. Yeah.
240,000,
Yeah,
4 months.
a little high.
Little, yeah. What are they specifically going to do?
Well, let's
That's
go through-
what comes next. This is
Let's
just
go
kind of
through
a
that.
summary,
Remember,
right?
guys,
Next
this was he preempted our request, so we can break it down. That's what we're going to do.
Where?
So task 1 is 1 to 2 weeks. That's to compile the LiDAR study, GS maps, rainfall, review the village records, establish design criteria, consistent with.
Okay, we have a review of LiDAR, that's all the survey information, the GIS. This is all, they're reviewing what they're basically doing to simplify. They're grabbing the ACOM model and they're walking through it, right? They're looking at their data collection, they're looking at the LiDAR, the drainage maps, whatever ACOM use to maintain apples to apples comparison, right?
Correct.
And Roland,
So-
do we have all that information they're stating there, Roland?
Yeah, we have that. I mean, ACOM certainly has it,
Okay,
you know.
okay.
I mean, but again, this is only in order to be able to proceed with developing a conceptual design of decentralized pumping network. I mean, and hydraulic analysis. This is not a peer review of what AECOM did.
No,
We're not, we
So
didn't
let's
ask for
be
that.
clear on that.
we
Yeah,
asked
well,
them
that's not really what, I'm sorry, but that's not really what I thought we were doing.
I mean, I haven't seen any of this stuff, so I haven't had the chance to
Yeah.
look through any of it. So I have no idea
No,
really.
no, Roland, we all got this in about an hour ago, so we're kind of working, you know.
Okay, that's fine, but let's understand it because it also affects the price.
Yes.
And my suggestion was at the last meeting that let's focus on them reviewing before they come up with any solutions like a decentralized pump station, pump and network, and before we start getting into the veins and the arteries of the patient, let's understand first what the diagnosis is, right?
Well, we can ask them to do that in one of the tasks. And that's
Yeah, I mean, and I was going into 1 and 2 seem pretty normal. like, assessing the data collection, looking at the flood area delineation that goes into what Ed, and you guys have expressed a concern whether we're going too far in, too far out, and look at the hydraulic analysis of the model to see if it correlates, if there's anything that jumps. I have no problem with that, but if we start getting into conceptual design of elements, then now we're going into a different phase.
That's task 3, yeah.
That's task 3. But
That's
remember,
task-
Remember,
okay.
Fernando, we were tasked by the mayor and the committee to
Yeah,
come
yeah,
up with an
yeah.
alternative design. So this is the breaking out, we're breaking out deliverables here, right? So
Okay,
number 3, and both, remember, they're all going to be broken out for deliverables. Then we'll negotiate each deliverable, and then we'll decide on what we're going to proceed with.
Mike, can I suggest that, like literally this came in, as you know, about an hour or
Yeah.
so ago. So maybe after this meeting, we can send it out to each one of the committee members.
Absolutely.
They can write notes, questions. I think I hear Fernando saying there might be a step missing. And if he suggests there might be another one to get to task 3, then we can go back, or you all can go back to GIT and ask for further explanation. But I want
Correct.
your guys' input before we do that.
yeah, I think task 1 and task 2, I think would be a good, healthy start. Let's look at the patient, let's get the second opinion based on our concerns, what was brought up, and then from then make a decision whether we should pursue other design approaches.
And Fernando, don't forget, we also, I know that you didn't agree with it, but we did spend the $38,000 to get that other information from ACOM too. So that's part of it.
Yeah, but okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's
The other
why
thing
I
is-
was a little bit confused because I felt a little, but anyway, that's fine. We're here where we're at.
Right.
Basically, what you said, Mike, and I agree with you, this is what we're tasked to do, to see if there's anything else other than the ACOM model, to see be more efficiently to do the thing, not
Correct.
to do a peer review. That's what we're tasked with.
We could, we can
So
set the
therefore,
peer
to me,
review. We can
task-
set the peer review
Task
as a
3 is
separate
what we're
task.
supposed to be doing.
Right. We can set the peer review as a separate task. But let's just keep going through this
Keep going.
this concept and just see what he has to say, guys. It's again, we all got this just recently. So concept of design pumping network. So he's talking about conceptual design, gravity wells, force mains. So in the basic conversation that I remember, he was discussing the concept of using small pipe with force mains to gravity wells, and then effectively force pump wells, right?
He was saying basically there was a combination system. He said
Right.
the idea is to utilize what you have that makes sense.
Right.
You put in shallow injection wells, to use existing pipes with small pumps rather than a centralized pumping station. So therefore, with the small pumps, you basically can force a lot more water through the existing pipes. If this all works, obviously, he has to analyze it. But basically, before you go to the big pumping station project that ACOM has designed now, that's basically what he said.
Yeah.
So
So that's
basically, of course,
he's suggesting that design will take between 5 and 10 weeks. Okay, and we've got a breakout for the cost in that. Then the next one is phase implementation of the strategy, which develop a roadmap beginning at the K school priority. Okay, so we also did say in our request for proposal was we did want a quick design to address the flooding directly around the school.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's also part of the task here 4. And then finally is task 5, which looks like it's a cost estimate and breakout.
Roll that up so I can see it, please. I can't see there. Thank you.
So,
I have a question on the quick design to address the school. The only thing that I see on that is more of a physics issue than anything else, is that water will find its way to the lowest point. I've always been a firm believer that this watershed that we're showing here is, to a degree, it's an imaginary line because we live in such a flat island that water eventually finds its way
Sure.
to the lowest point. So how are we going, my question is, how are we going to address a local issue when it's really a regional drainage impact?
Can I ask him that? Not me.
What was that?
It's a good question, Fernando. I'm gonna have to ask Giorgio, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, that should be on the list of questions for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm at, no, but I wasn't looking for an answer here, but.
Yeah, so for just administrative stuff, write your questions. I mean, as soon as we're done, I'm going to send this out to everyone's staff, and then we'll figure out obviously we'll get through this. Maybe at the end we can choose how long you guys think you need to come back, for each one of you. Because I know each one of you, I know two of you at least are out of town.
Right. Okay. All right, next is the cost estimate budget analysis.
Read that, well, stop okay, I can see it now.
Can you see it?
Yeah, compare phase costs with life cycle, O&M requirements, provide budget report with cost benefit analysis. Okay, that's what we want, yeah.
And the next one is basically meetings to explain to council. He's got 4 weeks to do that, and to staff.
So the question in my mind and yours, and I think Fernando's, is can you do it quicker?
Right.
Yeah, I would, going back to what Fernando said, I think there's a decision point between task 2 and task 3. So I'm not sure task 6 is actually weeks 12 through 16. I think it's along the way as needed.
Yeah.
To me, task 3 is something that we're going to do because that's what we've been tasked to do.
Correct.
No, I'm not saying we wouldn't do it, but we may want to provide them direction coming out of that.
Yeah.
I think what task six, excuse me, stakeholder coordination and presentations, week 12 through 14, that, he's basically assuming that we're not going to have a lot of communication back and forth until that project, which is not what Steve would like to see. Steve would like to see continuous communication throughout the project, which we can discuss on how.
I agree with
I think
Steve.
you just hit a great point, if I may, Mike, what you just said, which triggered just a thought. In engineering, we have a saying, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, right?
Sure.
And I'm sure the issue is, my concern is unforeseeable consequences on this, that we have one engineer penned against another one. And we have to be sure that, and this is one thing that I really want to get from Giorgio, is are we going to go into a complete divergence from the design, or are we going to work with what we have? That's what I'm saying. The first 2 steps are critical to understand apples to apples, because if we're all of a sudden we're creating an orange and we got an apple, then guess who's going to make the decision of whether to pick the apple or the orange?
Well, Fernando, I think ultimately at the end of the day, we were tasked by the.
Oh, I understand that, and
we're gonna end up probably with an orange, okay, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're gonna be
tangerine.
Orange apple.
Yeah, or we're gonna be comparing probably at the end of the day the ACOM design with its current cost structure,
Yes.
and potential new design with another current cost structure, and one will probably be what I would refer to as a 10 to 15 year design, and the other one probably is going to be a 10 to 50 year design, and we have to decide on what we want to do. And I think that's what the council is going to have to make that decision. And that's not really the scope of our work. Our scope of our work is to bring those opportunities to the table, and then for the council to make the decision.
But that's okay. Maybe I'm just trying to caution. I don't know what will end up, I don't know how this will all end up rolling out, but at the end of the day, what I would hate is for council to be making technical decisions of infrastructure for the village when it should be an engineering firm accepting a solution that is outside the purview of council.
And Mike, if you may, I'd like to just remind. Well, you weren't on council at the time. Ed, I think you were, but AECOM early on in this process did a whole comprehensive discharge opportunity analysis, which you may or may not be aware of.
Yes,
exploring all sorts of different ways to move water and get rid of the volumes of water that were being generated. So I just want to throw that out there. And Fernando, you know that discharge opportunity analysis in depth because you were working with AECOM at the time. And
Yeah.
so it's not like this has not been looked at before, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that. I'm just throwing that out there. So do with that
and-
piece of information as you wish.
And we gotta make sure GIT gets it, Rowan.
Oh, I'm sure he already has it.
The,
It would be, you know, Steve, it would be nice if we could share that information with Ed and myself. At least I haven't.
I think I've even sent it to you guys already.
But we'll do it, but we can package it again, Rowan. I
Yeah.
think we have, but it's just, you know, all previous reports, documents, et cetera.
Yeah, but guys, I mean, if there's a specific white paper or a specific article that we need to read, that's, you know, that would be useful. And if it's marked, this is this specific analysis, that'd be helpful. But if I just get a big data dump of documents, it's not going to help me much.
No, we'll take any reports and documents that relate specifically to this work.
And
Mike,
we could have continuous meetings, guys. This is not, you know, we're supposed to be, this is not adversarial at all. This is supposed to just be an alternative conversation. So if we could keep it that way, that'd be awesome.
Mike, the numbers from that paper that Roland's talking about were translated into AECOM's engineering plan for Zone 1. In other words, they came up with a thing. They then came up with I think was 3.2 inches per hour, if I'm not mistaken.
For Crowder Road, okay.
And they came back with a price or an estimated price. Council said no, it was too expensive. And that's when they lowered it down to 2 inches. And that's when Fernando was on there and said, we should go to 2.3 inches because that was the county standard. And they also talked about the 1 inch. All during that time, we never knew, maybe Fernando knew, but nobody else on the council knew that they were considering 100% of the water being pumped and none being absorbed. That wasn't until way down the road. So that's a little history on it.
Right. Okay. Got it. Thank you, Ed. Steve, this is a lot of information right here for us to digest. I mean, maybe we should just send this out to the three of us and to actually to everybody's staff as well, including yourself, and we can all come back
Schedule
with
another meeting.
We can all come back with some notes and schedule another meeting.
Yeah, no, I think, this is obviously coming this afternoon. We need some time. I think, look, this is really top level. I think we should expect more from him.
Yeah.
I don't think this is detailed enough. But you know, if you guys go through and you make questions, let us know. We'll look through it. We'll consolidate all the questions and send it back to him.
Send us your questions also, Steve.
No, we will. No, we'll consolidate yours and ours and we'll put them together and then, maybe that's what we can.
But if you can send us
Next
yours
meeting.
beforehand and everybody's talking, but then we can think about it before we have a meeting and be more productive. That's all.
Ed, by 8 o'clock tonight, you're gonna have questions written all over this, so.
Okay, good.
Okay, guys, just as a note, I was supposed to open this up to public comment. I apologize. Jocelyn just sent me a text to do that. After we're finished, we'll do that. Does anybody have anything that we else want to continue other than the notes, Steve?
No.
All right.
Well, I mean, I've taken action notes. I'm not sure when you want me to do those, just to make sure we're clear, but whether you want to open up for public comment now, or you want me to say them now.
Why don't you go ahead and say your notes now, and then we'll open up for
Okay.
comment at the end.
First thing you all asked for were for comparables, to take a look at the rate sheet, make sure that makes sense.
Right,
You want to identify the team by their experience and expertise.
right.
And we want to send out this work order here for both staff and committees' comments and questions.
Yep.
One thing we haven't talked about, I think we do need to talk about, is the project management methodology. I see the cost right now as it is, unless we modify it, is below the $250,000, which we currently have in the capital plan, so we won't have to reprogram. And I think, looking back at his timeline, yes, I mean, I will probably NTP him maybe mid-September. We're asking AECOM to have their stuff back by the end of September, so I think we can integrate AECom's baseline modeling for him to take a look at it as he's doing this work.
Okay.
And then lastly, you asked for any previous reports or documents that we think reflect this type of work in this location.
Yeah, specifically the hydrology
Yeah.
stuff
I
that
have one more question I should have brought up. Is he prepared or is he doing anything that is the same thing as AECom is doing with his baseline modeling? Because if he's doing the same thing that they are, we should get either credit for him or he should do it and we should have AECom do it. No reason to do double work. So I think that should be discussed one way or the other
you know what we could do is ask him that question.
before we go forward with AECom to make sure we're not double pricing. And if it is, then let's have him give us a credit. That's all.
Oh, he's right here. This is right there. He's talking about that. But again, we would need to know what those criteria.
That's what I mean. So
Modeling.
you need that information is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so let's ask him what
Yeah,
those
before we go
specific-
forward. Okay. Sounds good. I
All
got
right,
nothing
task
else.
2, anybody else have anything else they'd like to ask Fernando?
I'm good.
Okay, all right. Since there are no other questions, we'll open up for public comment. Anybody have any comments from the public?
They can do the hand signal. That's how we used to do it.
Okay,
Is
Yeah,
in the
would-
public.
On their screen, and then I can unmute.
I don't see anybody else up.
I think we even lost Nancy.
No, I'm here, but I
Oh,
don't
she
have
is.
any
Okay.
comments.
Oh, there's Zoom user.
You
Okay.
don't get rid of me that easily.
I thought you were gonna raise your hand or something. I don't
Hi,
know.
Nance.
Okay,
Hi.
so as they say, as I've learned to say, as I see no public comments, we're gonna close the comments and move on to close the meeting. Anybody else like to add anything? Looking for a second to close the meeting?
Close second.
Okay,
Okay,
all right, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
your
much.
input. Yep.
Great
Oh,
job, you guys.
One thing, we should probably schedule, you know what, we'll schedule it after we get the notes out and then we'll
Let's
Yeah, let me
get-
do a
let's-
summary
let's
of what
take
we
a
got here,
time
Mike.
to
I'll
look
send
at
you the
it.
documents and then you and I can kind of bounce it back and we'll get back out with the other three.
very
Okay.
good, guys. All right, thank you. Good afternoon.
thank you.
Sounds
Bye.
Bye,
sounds
good job,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye, thank you.